Chasing the hours, a tangled design. The bottom line's fading, you're falling behind. Stuck on the treadmill, just going nowhere. With too much to build and no time to spare. And oh, your whole vision is coming in view. We prompted the future and made it all new. The right prompt delivered to save you the day. More profit, more value. The smarter AI way. The smarter Your team is united, the workflow's a breeze, unlocking new markets with focus and ease. That time that was wasted is fuel in the tank for growth you can measure and put in the bank. They'll sell you complex, the code and the maze. We find the clear pathway through digital haze. It's more than just software, it's strategies on. We give you the leverage to pull you apart. And oh, your whole vision is coming in view. We prompted the future and made it all new. The right prompt delivered to save you the day. More profit, more value. The smarter AI way. The smarter
Welcome, everybody. So excited to have you here. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jonathan, and I'm the host today, but we're actually going to be turning a lot of this over to Bennett Black, who's a friend of mine that has some amazing AI tools that he's using to build websites. And I know one of the questions we've been getting from people is, Jonathan, how do I use AI to build websites? There's a lot of different ways we can do it, but Bennett's got one of the best solutions I've seen. And so we want to thank everybody for joining us here for this free training. We're going to walk through and show you how we're recommending that you use it and how you can use it. And Bennett will be here to answer a bunch of questions. I'm going to bring him up on screen here with me just so that we are up. And there we go. Hey, Bennett, how you doing, sir?
Awesome, Jonathan. Good morning. How's my audio?
Sounds good. It's nice and
Sounds
clear.
good.
So yeah, we're in
Got
good
the new
shape.
AirPods going, so hopefully it's not too bad.
Awesome. Yeah. So we got the follow me camera on, and you're all set and ready to go. Sweet.
Awesome. Cool.
So, well,
I'm gonna
Bennett,
pull
you and
up
I
this
haven't talked
screen
much
share.
since I don't think you and I have actually talked probably since Cancun when we were down at the mastermind event. But I know you've been talking to the team and getting things done and making tons of adjustments that I've been seeing coming through. Just before we dive on in, we'll do a couple bits of housekeeping and get things started. But let me do that, and then we'll get things turned over to you. Does that sound fair?
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. So one of the things I know we always get asked is what about replays? Yes, we're going to have a replay of this that's available. I'll actually paste the resource document. Any of the resources that Bennett gives us, we'll put in there as well. And as you guys know, because this is a free Spark session, Bennett's going to have an offer for us if you hang around, if you like what he's doing. If not, there'll be a ton of value that you'll learn in the meantime, but you'll get an offer as well if you guys are interested in what he has to offer. And it's just for our community, so that'll be a big deal. Let me make sure I got the approvals on. And then if we have time for Q&A, hopefully we will, just raise your hand. Let me know. I'll be monitoring the chat in the interim, and we'll go from there. So with that, I'm going to paste that Google link in here in just a moment. Frida, hang on, I got to stop. Frida, is it snowing in Napa Valley? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Frida just mentioned in the comments it's
Yes,
snowing in Napa. Oh
yes.
man.
I am excited.
I bet the grapes aren't so excited though. I mean, that's the
No.
Oh wow. Wow. I'm glad to say it's not snowing down here along the Gulf Coast. It's nice and warm. So Bennett, where are you joining us from today? I don't know where you're based right now.
I'm in SoCal and Irvine.
Oh,
We've
you're
had
not
like
bad
some
then. Yeah.
crazy rainstorms, but I cannot complain. I know it's
Yeah.
still the best of it. So
No doubt. Well, Bennett, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to go backstage. I'll be here if you need anything, let me know. But go ahead and take this over and tell everybody and show us how amazing these tools work because I'm really excited.
awesome. I think I might have to figure out some privacy setting to get Zoom to share my
Yeah, just
screen.
go
So I
ahead,
might have to
just go ahead and
rejoin.
request, and I'll.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably just need to request. It just came up and said allow you to share, but try it once and see if
Yeah, it's
it.
saying I have to quit and reopen the app, which is
Okay.
always fun.
Oh, not a problem.
So I'll
Well,
come
hang
right
on.
back.
We'll see you in just a moment. In the meantime,
Okay.
we'll go and run over to chat. This is just the way things work when we're dealing with Zoom. These things happen. So yeah, we'll see you in just a moment. I had one yesterday, a Zoom call yesterday. It literally, I went to join from my Zoom account. It was mine, and it said, "We're waiting for the host to start the meeting." And I'm like, I am the host. I'm logged into my account. It wouldn't do it. I literally had to send that person a new Zoom link. Crazy stuff sometimes. But yeah, Brian says it's not snowing in Sonoma. That's good. Snow, I just assumed I moved down to Alabama to get rid of all the snow and get away from that. So Carrie, I'm glad to hear it's not just me because I was a little like, what did I do wrong yesterday? Anyway, guys, seriously, as Bennett joins us, I'm really excited to see what he's got to show us. Bennett and I, again, we met probably a little over a year ago. Looks like he's sharing his screen already, so he's coming back in. There we go.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'll let you take it over now that you're back with us. So the floor is yours, sir. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan. So my name is Bennett Black. I'm not a secret agent or a spy, unfortunately. I know you're wishing I was. And I actually used to run a marketing agency before I was doing anything with AI or automation. Probably like since back in college. So I would go and sell websites for as much as I could, usually about 1,000 or 2,000 bucks. Times were good. People weren't really using AI at all to build websites. There really were no other tools, and that gave rise to issues like it wasn't scalable. You couldn't really do a business in a box like you can today. So I'll show you on this webinar how to actually make from 2,000 to 10,000 to as high as you can take it by selling websites that you can actually build and fully billed in 5 minutes. And I was probably on a webinar just like this back when I was first starting my agency, except it didn't say at the end that you could build the websites in 5 minutes. So that's the cool part about this webinar here. And I want to convey and show to you how exactly to do this using the tool I built. So yeah, I used to run a marketing agency. I used to sell local SEO websites. I was using WordPress, and just having to go out and sell the client, then do the work, and then get paid. So it was kind of as you'd expect, but just the order of it made it hard to scale. Every single client, you had to build a custom website. They took forever. Here's a few examples when I was first starting out, but you had to set up WordPress, the hosting and DNS. You have all the different page builders you could use, write every single piece of text on the website, which almost sounds crazy to me now. And plus do all the SEO, all the pages. I'm sure if you're in the industry right now, this all sounds super familiar. You're probably doing all this stuff yourself, and you know how long it does take. Even if you hire people to help you do this, no matter how many SOPs or how many processes you make, it seems like people just can't get it right. So that was the problem. We were actually still growing. We're actually doing pretty well still. Had a couple like virtual assistants helping me out. We're getting results for clients. We're getting leads, and we actually scaled it up. We actually, had some posts on Facebook, and even did so well that people were copying the exact posts, which is always a good thing to see. Is like, if they're copying you, you must be doing something good. So I would sell websites for about $97 a month. It would take me 10 to 20 hours per site. And eventually we got the business up to about $10,000 a month. This is me, cold calling in college. I was hustling. I was just spending all day. I was a terrible student. I didn't go to probably a single class my whole senior year. So I was just trying to build this business up. And after reaching this goal that I thought was so, monumentous, I was so excited to reach the goal that everyone sets out to achieve when they start their first online business. Like 10K a month is the number. It's the grail. And after reaching this point, I felt like I built myself a trap. I built myself a business that was less of a business and more of a job, that I had, 10 bosses telling me what to do, or asking me to, resize this logo here, or add a service page to this website, or add a blog post for this. I basically just built myself a decent paying job that was more work than the average job. And it was a very, tough choice, but I decided like, hey, I want to go out and find something that I actually can build the right way, where I actually have a business. I actually have an asset. I'm not just the person or the thing that I'm selling, because I was really just selling my own time. As you can see, I had 7 clients, 7 bosses. You'd wake up to Slack, people messaging you for this revision. You never can have time, because you're managing assets and projects for 7 different clients at the same time. So hopefully I'm not alone here. I bet some of you have experienced this or are experiencing this right now, especially if you run a marketing agency. You are the product, right? You are the service. You can't scale a business when you are the product or the service. And there were no tools that could do what I wanted. I had tried a few AI website tools. They could build a website, but it took probably longer than me just doing it myself. It takes 45,000 million prompts, and the credits, you have to buy more credits because you can't build a whole website one shot. You have to build page 1, page 2, page 3. And then when you're building page 3, it looks different than page 2, right? It doesn't share global elements. Complete pain, right? Most tools today. And you're also locked into their ecosystem. Most of these website AI tools that existed before I built mine. You can't transfer the website out easily. You have to keep paying for hosting. If the client wants to leave, or you want to give them their site back, you can't do it because you're paying for the subscription, and it's awkward if you make them pay for it. So it's more work usually with these other AI tools than just doing it yourself. And you can't migrate it. It's not WordPress. So I shut down that entire business. And this was A choice that, looking back, I'm very, very happy I made. I can tell you for a fact, my parents were very upset. I was already a terrible student in college. Didn't apply for any jobs. I knew that I was not going to be a good employee anyways, and I went back to basically ground zero because I wanted to build a better way. And I was also learning a lot about, N8N, Make, these automation platforms are becoming super popular. And I decided I'm going to call every single one of my clients who I'm doing SEO for, and I'm going to shut it all down. So I did that. I was learning a lot about automation, and I was curious, especially about Make and N8N, and I spent a lot of time in those tools. And my priority was, if I could build an agency over from scratch, how can I build this thing from the ground up to be fully automated or fully AI enhanced? So that's what I did. I was trying to replicate basically my exact same process of, when I get a new client, I want to enter their business information in, click a few times, and then have the full website complete. And so I set out to build processes like that to build a new agency from scratch. I had a failed launch for a tool called One Click SEO. We're going to skip right over that. I basically tried to hire a developer to build it for me with vibe coding tools, and it completely flopped because he was not very good, and I was trusting too kind of blindly there. So 12 months later, after the tools launched back up, to come full circle, back at the 10K mark, which is awesome. Now that I've done it twice, it's like, all right, I feel good about that decision. But I think before that, like right around here, I was not very happy with my choice to shut it all down before. Um, so this whole thing came about because I was curious, like, what if I could enter a business name and get back an entire website? I'm not talking about prompting some, 3-paragraph prompt, trying to detail every single aspect of the website. What if I could literally have a vending machine that I could plug in a business name and get back a whole entire website? And that's exactly what One Click Website is. So I'll just kind of show briefly. I'll go back and forth probably between these slides here. And so far, are we all good, Jonathan? Is my audio good?
Yeah, you're
Everybody can hear
great.
me? Am I talking too fast? Okay, cool.
No, you're on a roll. Keep it up. This is the
All right.
exciting part because I used to have an agencies, and you're absolutely right. This stuff took forever.
Exactly right. Yeah, it does. So this is the tool here. If you have never seen this tool, it's called oneclickwebsite.ai. By the way, I know if I was you, I'd probably be like, all right, let me just go to the tool and start using it. But if you wait until the end, we have a special offer where you can get not just one free site, but 2 free sites. But I'm going to ask you, please just stick around to the end, because we'll give you that offer for being a part of this webinar and for being part of Jonathan's awesome community. So this is exactly what the tool does, right? You plug in you choose a template, first of all. Say, okay, I want this design or that design. There's not too many designs here. There's only a few. There's only like 2 or 3. So we'll choose one here. Let me get this Zoom bar to go away so I can actually click. Okay, cool. So I'll continue. I'll enter in a business here. Jonathan, any suggestions here? Any business local to you that's helped you out in the past few days? Any plumbers come to your house? Any roofers? Anything like that?
Actually, I just got a new backup generator
Okay.
because if the power goes out and for any reason, I need to be able to stay online for these calls and things like that. So yeah, we did a backup generator. Like, you're going to ask me who did it though, and that's going to be the hard part to remember the name. He did great. Hang on. Sorry, I picked somebody that I didn't know off the top of my head, which is never a good idea, right? Let's see here. Doing a quick search, see if I can find who I wanted. Of course not. I can't. Let's just do A Electric Company. A dash Electric Company. That's not him, but
All right.
it'll
A
serve.
electric company. Um, is it going to be these guys in
Yep.
Louisiana? Okay,
That's close. Yeah, let's go with those.
close enough. All right, electric, that'll work. Okay, cool. So we've got the business coming in here. So yeah, it's Google Maps autofill, pretty easy. You can find any business pretty well there. We'll continue. And most companies already have a website. So we're not just selling websites to people who don't have one. A lot of people already have one. And why go through the hassle of trying to copy and paste everything and have ChatGPT write this nice business description? Let's just have the tool do it. So this just extracted their whole website that they already have, at least the homepage, and gave us a nice description to use and throw in for writing the actual content of this site. So we have that content done, pretty much all the descriptions there. If they don't have a site, you can also just write in your own copy here. And now this tool is mostly for delivering websites to home service-based companies or companies that deliver services in a service area. And typically they're going to deliver multiple different services they want to rank for on Google. So these guys are electricians. They do electrical wiring, lighting installation, a lot of different electrical services, which makes sense. And also service areas. They serve different areas. So usually you want to have a page for every service, a page for every service area, and that gives you like a really effective SEO website that chances are it's going to go above and beyond whatever they currently have by like a mile. Because if I'm searching, generator installation in Houghton, Louisiana, now I'll show up. But before, just having a homepage or an about page, it's not really sufficient these days. So I'll continue. And now we can just upload their logo if we have one. I'll skip that for now. And we can give them a nice orange color. How about we do a little yellow? Orange is probably best. Yeah, yellow is too hard to see. So we'll do this orange color. I'll create the site and then I'll confirm. And that's it. So that's going to take probably about 5-10 minutes. But that's the entire process. There's no prompting. There's no back and forth. And it's fun to come back and check it out once it's done. So I'm just going to go back over to the presentation here, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes.
So Bennett, I got to ask you here real quick because I know that everybody's asking the question. You mean that we literally walk through, and I've seen this, so I know the answer, but you literally walk through, fill that out, and in 5 to 6 minutes, we're going to have a website, right?
Yeah, my entire goal is you complete that process, and that's it. I don't want you to have to do anything else to create the full website, and that'll create a website that has homepage, about page, contact page, privacy policy, terms and conditions, a page for every service, a page for every service area, and probably a few more that I'm forgetting as well.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm because I know we've got people going, it can't be that easy. There's got to be a catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much no catch. I mean, they're not always exactly perfect, but we'll see what we get at the end here. So let's see. So these sites are not just any website. They're built to rank on Google, yada, yada, yada. They're actually WordPress as well. This is a huge thing. Let me go back to share mode. So one other issue that I had with other, website tools, some of them were actually pretty good and could do something similar to what I had, but they were not WordPress, which meant I could not use my own SEO plugin. I could not easily transfer this website over. Let's say my client wants to, be done with me. They've had enough of me. They want to go their own way. I have to be the guy who breaks the bad news and say, hey, well, we can't actually migrate your site because it's locked into this abcsitebuilder.com. So you have to now pay for this some weird way. And they never like that. So this allows you to actually have 100% WordPress. You can move it over to any host. It's like over half the internet was the last that I saw is powered by WordPress. So there's no vendor lock-in. Even that first free site, you can migrate over. It's yours to keep. Just send them the link. And we've got I have probably like 1 or 2 testimonials in here. I was up till 1 a.m. building my slides. So if they're a little bit disorganized, that's the reason why. And the whole principle is like, I was having to go and sell them first, then build them, then collect payment, right? I had to go and do this thing in the worst way because there was not a good tool that let me build it first, then show them the link, then get paid then. So it's much easier to sell something, obviously, if you can show it first, because you know what you're going to get. It's like going to the Nike store and saying, I want to buy some shoes. And they say, okay, well, pay us before we give you the shoes. And hopefully they'll fit and hopefully you like the style. And that's how most contractors or most local businesses buy websites today. So this actually is a better experience for them, even if you feel a little bit bad that you just clicked 5 times. But let's see where we're at here. I think we're probably still building, probably about halfway. So not surprised there. They do take a little bit of time. I'll continue on here. Any any questions so far? I think probably pretty
So
straightforward.
I got a
I haven't
couple of
really
them in the
shown that
chat
much.
here.
Okay.
One we got in the chat is, can I add e-commerce on? No, because it's WordPress, you could just add WooCommerce in, couldn't you? Or any other thoughts that you've got set up for e-commerce?
Yeah, you can add WooCommerce to this. You can add pretty much any WordPress plugin or framework to this. It depends. It won't be as automatic as what I give you at the beginning.
Right,
Um,
exactly. Yep.
I'm
But
seeing
the
some
whole
other
point is, I mean,
questions. Okay.
it's easy to do that. The other question is, what about SEO and AEO? I'm assuming we probably follow best practices, but of course, there's always going to be some tweaking that has to happen there. Am I accurate in that, Bennett?
Of course, yeah. I think it's always evolving. So when I built this, there wasn't really that much focus about AEO. But I think that, and I'm not an expert anymore at SEO or AEO as much as I was. I wasn't, I don't follow it as much now. But basically, most of the same signals that AEO uses, that AI uses to rank businesses, from what I can tell, are pretty much the same things as SEO. So like having
Yes.
good citations, having good FAQs, good schema markup on the website, having pages for each of your main keywords and clusters and stuff like that. So I think a lot of it applies together, and that's exactly how I built this to be maximally effective, especially if you're serving a local service area type business. Although it can also work for a non-service area business. So we can do this for a dentist, a chiropractor, somebody who's a brick and mortar local business. It also works pretty well for them. I have a template that's just for those guys.
What about, we've got a good question here I don't know the answer to. What about, are there any specific WordPress plugins that are automatically installed that this is using?
Yes. So we use a page builder called Breakdance Builder. It's similar
Mhm.
to Elementor. The reason we use Breakdance is because it's a bit of a lighter weight version than Elementor. Plus, the way that the licenses are set up, we were actually able to talk with the founder and get anybody who builds a site on our platform. We have a license key that we distribute to each website. So you're able to kind of just get up and running. There's no additional fees. Any plugin that you see on the website is already has a license attached to it. So you can't like copy and paste it and go use it everywhere because it won't actually copy for you, but it's already installed and activated. So you can just get up and running.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
I see a question from Matthew, GBP and GHL automation. So this will definitely work with GHL. You can add in a form. You can embed the form into the website just as you would like a GHL site. And then integrating the GBP, I'd assume pasting the embed in the footer for the Google Business Profile. You can definitely do that. I don't have anything on this tool right now for creating Google Business posts, but I'm like kind of winking here because I have some stuff coming out pretty soon about that.
Lots of questions, Bennett, about hosting. I know this could technically be hosted with anybody that does WordPress hosting, but am I correct? You also provide hosting, so you don't like have to move it. They can pay you a couple bucks and it's taken care of as well. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. We offer $10 a month per site. Hosting, it's like extremely fast. It's just a one-click, same kind of idea.
Let me just tell
But
you
you
guys,
can
that's
also migrate
extremely
that.
affordable too, because that's like half of what I pay. I think I pay $25 a site or more. So that's really good.
Yeah, I think it's the same price as GHL. But if you have your own hosting already, you use SiteGround, you use Hosting or one of those platforms, you're free to just migrate the site over. There's no additional fees to do that. It's WordPress, so you can host it wherever you can host WordPress. And
And there
okay, it
was a
looks like
question
we
is,
are all. Oh, go ahead.
okay, go ahead. No, you're good.
Okay. All right. Drum roll. We got a site that's complete. Let's see what it looks like for electric company and contracting, and let's pull it up.
Nice.
So this is cached, so I have to refresh the cache to actually see this image pop up. But remember, this whole thing took us what, Jonathan? 3 clicks a minute?
No, yeah, I mean, 5 minutes and a few clicks. That's one of the reasons I
Okay,
was so
5 minutes.
excited to show everybody, because this is just, guys, Bennett shared he used to have an agency. I did too. My agency built websites like this out, and these would take weeks literally to produce and get out there. That's one of the reasons I was so impressed with this. So go ahead, Bennett. Sorry, I don't mean to
Yeah. No.
interrupt.
It's true. It's like these would also take me weeks, not just weeks. They took me like, having two virtual assistants. I had probably 50 tasks in a task list, and we would export this task list over and click up and start running through everything. Anyways, I'll show them what they actually want. They want to see the site, Jonathan, so I'll get to it. All the content is generated at runtime. Nothing here is like static. So as you can see, like Shreveport's reliable electrical and generator experts, like this is all generated in real time, and the images are as well. So all text, all images are done for us, and we have a good about as well, because we imported their existing website, so we got some good information about what they actually do. And we have a carousel here for each service that they offer. So we put this in when we started it out, and we chose services. They look pretty reasonable to me for an electrician. I think this is all pretty much what I would have done if I was building this site, manually from scratch. So circuit breakers, yep, all this stuff looks good. These are all their own page as well. So if I open one of these up and try to get around the Zoom thing, so we have emergency electrical repair in Shreveport, Louisiana. This is its own page, and it's designed to rank precisely for this term. So it's one of their services plus their main service area. That's the whole job of this page, really. Doesn't get much actual traffic. It's more so just like, if somebody searches this exact term, rank for that on Google. And we have a whole bunch of those pages. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And same for service areas as well. Each one of those is their own page. So not bad for like 5-6 minutes. And each page, it's not just like a super short page. It actually has some decent depth to it, I would say. So this could for sure rank on Google. Depends on how competitive the area is. If I walk into New York City, I can't just throw up a page like this and hopefully it works and I can start getting paid all this money from my client. Like I actually have to do other work to rank websites. But if it's a small enough town, like I'm not sure how big Shreveport is. If somebody's from there, they can tell me. But
It's pretty good size.
you
So
might actually be. It's a good
yeah, I
size.
mean, you're going to have the basics in place, but Bennett, you make a good point. SEO is not a switch that you do on a website. It's a process. It's an ongoing process that you do. So because it's built on WordPress, you can't have, in my opinion, a better base platform to be built on than this is. My sites are built on WordPress. I'm a huge high level fan, and that's where my landing pages are, but my websites are on WordPress. Again, SEO it's not a, hey, is my SEO done? The answer is no, it's never done, no matter what you're doing. It's definitely a process.
100%. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. At the very least, what this tool will give you, this website it's a good foundation. When you want to start building, backlinks, citations, you're going to go and get this website indexed. I think it's a good general like structure to it that will keep Google happy. And seeing all these different pages, you might rank first for Oil City pretty quickly if it's a small town, just by having this page. I can't, give any guarantees or anything like that, but just by having a page up in some small towns, I personally have ranked clients first, especially in like Colorado, like those mountain towns. Just having a page, they were getting calls from people who were searching on Google. Even if it was like 5 or 6 people a month, that still means something to an electrician for sure. We have the About Us page. We have content here. And it's not just filler content. Like if the person was actually reading this, for the most part, it's not like, it doesn't have every detail about the business for sure. We can change this and make it better. But I think that it has enough where the business owner could read this, especially if you sent this link over to them. They'd be very, very surprised what you gave them. And And I think they'd lead to a call. I think they'd want to see what else you can do. So we have service area pages like I showed here. We have the contact form is already done for us. And by the way, huge thing, is it mobile optimized? Yes, it is. If I size this thing down, and hopefully that looks how it looks on my screen for you guys as well. I got the menu here. The drop downs and stuff are already set for us. I can call, I can get a quote, and the whole thing looks good on mobile out of the gate. So I try to build this like as if I was building this for my own agency, a tool that I could spin up quite literally almost the exact same sites that I used to sell on a consistent basis for, 99 bucks a month, or even as high as $2,000 like upfront. So it's the exact same kind of framework that I would use. So yeah, we have our site done here. I want to also show people like the actual back end of this, because they're probably thinking, okay, like we built this site pretty fast, Jonathan, but it's probably going to be a pain in the neck to actually edit this. Like every other tool that I've used, the first experience is great, but then it's like a bad relationship. Like it goes downhill from there. You want to get out as quickly as you can. You say, let me go back to being alone. And this is a different tool, I would say. So let me hide these meeting controls. Let me go and view this. We have our login details. And please, nobody hack my site, guys. Come on. I spent so much time building this. If you're seriously that low to copy my username and password, I have nothing for you guys.
Our audience is cool. I've actually mistakenly shared my OAuth keys and all that before on screen, and they've never done that. So they're good. That's
good. Yeah, that's always fun. They're probably just saving the keys for when you least expect it, whenever you go on your ski trip or whatever. So the back end here, I just signed into that website, guys, that we just had pulled up. The back end is just familiar WordPress. If you've never seen WordPress before, like it's going to look a bit daunting for sure. I built this mostly for people who've already have a little bit of experience using a website tool like WordPress before. But if you've never ever touched WordPress before, it is the tool that most agencies are going to use. So you might as well start learning it. I think it's not going away, especially as automation platforms continue to use it, because users want WordPress. The reason that I built this in WordPress, I could have gone and built my own kind of version of it, but people keep asking for WordPress because it has this flexibility. It has the freedom to move it anywhere, to install plugins like Rank Math, etc. So let's show you the actual backend here. We have standard pages. These are all the static pages of the site. They already have their meta descriptions set and all their meta titles as well. We have to make a few adjustments to get this site title to change in the appearance area. I have a whole documentation on this whole thing. So I've got a Loom video, and I've got a bunch of documentation covering each aspect of just about everything that you might want to do to customize this site and actually get this live for a client. So pages here. One thing I love that I built on this is this universal menu. This is actually every single piece of text on the website, on every static page. So not those like bulk service pages or service area pages, but just about everything else is all here in this menu. So if I want to change, for example, the call to action text, if I say, instead of get a quote, I want to say call now, then I can just go ahead and I can update it here. And I go back over to my site, we'll see that everything now says call now. So call now is our new call to action. So I just updated pretty much everything there, every call to action in one click, versus having to go and say with another tool, hey, get a quote to call now, and it does two, and there's still a third one remaining. It's just a headache. So I wanted to build this. It's not really a software. It's more so an automation. It's like a vending machine, right? You put in a few details and you get a whole website back. Anyways, the homepage is here, all the images. So a client says, hey, I want to change out this AI image, although it does look pretty good. I want to use my actual job photos. No problem. We're going to go into this area. We're going to swap it out. I can upload an image here, and I can just change it right from there. Same with any other image on the website. The About page, it's all right here. I can change this pretty easily. I've got FAQs, and I can add more pretty easily as well. And it comes with the caching plugin already installed as well, called Flying Press. It's a great tool. We include the license for this as well. And then, yeah, all the service pages are right here as well. And I say as well quite a bit. I've been noticing that. I've been working on it. So we got services
You're
here,
good.
and we can add new services either manually, which who likes to add service pages manually? Like the client says, hey, I also offer this service. Can you add a page for that? And initially, I would just tell people, okay, just go in here and write the whole thing from scratch, and you can use ChatGPT and add it in and publish it. It's not that great of a solution. It's a bit annoying. So instead of doing that, what we can do is actually talk to this agent here. So we have an agent, and who doesn't love a good, actually useful agent from time to time? So this is still kind of in beta. In beta, it'll do a few things for us. It can add service pages, it can add service area pages, and create blog posts as well as change some colors. So we're still working on this to be able to change not just a service page, but also the entire website of content. So I can say, let's add a service. Hopefully I'm typing there. I can't really see. Oh yeah, okay. Let's add a service page for, let's just say electrical testing. And we'll see if this works here. So much easier than actually having to go in and change it or add it here in WordPress, although it's not too difficult. So we'll see what it comes up with. And yeah, so let's see, what else can we show on this website? One of the best parts about this is that it's just Breakdance Builder. So it's kind of like Elementor. If you've used that before, it's a very similar experience. It's drag and drop. So I can go into any page and I can edit it as much as I'd like. It's all like custom values too. It's just we're inserting a bunch of custom text in here, custom values. So for example, this is attributed home H1 as a custom value. But if I want to just change this without changing it from that menu I showed before, I can just remove this and say, we are the best electricians, and I can save it. There's not going to be any problems with that. So the whole website is ready for you to edit. I can create new things on here just as I would if I was doing this from scratch. New columns, boom, we have new columns. I can put in a new heading here, a new image here. So the client says, hey, I want to add some stuff. No problem. Breakdance Builder is not the easiest thing in the world. Neither is Elementor or really any page builder. It takes some learning curve. There's some setup time. So I recommend that if you do explore this system, that you probably have to get familiar a little bit with Breakdance and how it works and how to add different things. But for the most part, I mean, I think the site's pretty much good out of the box. You might have to change some reviews out, change a few images out. But I think total invested time could be as low as 30 minutes for the whole website. The next step is really, how do we get this thing hosted? And by the way, this page looks like it says it's done. Let's just see if that actually is the case. Electrical testing, and boom, there's our page. So we added a service page for electrical testing, same length, same kind of quality. And all I had to say was add a page for this. Same applies for blog posts, same applies for service area pages, and pretty soon it'll apply for the entire website to edit text or change images, etc. So let's see. The next thing to cover here is how to get this hosted. We have a few options for you. So if you want to export this to your own hosting, you can really just export this however you usually would. I used to use a tool called All-in-One WP Migration. That's a plugin you can use. Just takes all the files. You can dump it on your new installation. I also have some docs about using this tool called Migrate Guru. It makes it a bit easier, and we can just export the whole thing over. The other super easy route is to just host it with us. So we can add a subscription here, $10 a month. And let's just see if I can get this to work quickly. But basically, you just plug in your domain name and you follow the steps. So I'll complete this setup here. And I can do like one of my domains here, boldslate.com. Yeah, so I think it's because I've already used this domain, but you enter your domain, it gives you some DNS records to put into your DNS management tool like GoDaddy or Cloudflare, and then it should be live. It's at the SSL, the HTTPS, it's secure, and you're done. So we built the site and hosted it probably in less than 5 minutes. Edits can take a little bit longer, but that's the whole thing.
Bennett, one
Um,
of the questions we're getting a lot of people asking, they're loving this, by the way, but is what about if the existing company doesn't have a website? Is there a form that can be filled out, or how do people enter information if there isn't an existing website to pull from?
Yeah, good question. So it depends on what's available online. Our system can be used for any company. If they don't have a website, that's fine. So for example, if I do this, I can continue. Even if they don't have an actual like Google business profile. Like imagine it's your neighbor and they're starting a company like tomorrow, right? They don't have anything online, nothing's done. I would probably just do this the manual route. So let's just say neighbors plumbing, and then enter in the industry, and let's just enter a few things in. So I can not use this feature as well. I can not import anything. So I can just write up a quick, maybe 3 paragraphs, or I can have ChatGPT help me. I can say, hey, my neighbor, John, is starting up a plumbing company and he is certified with this and certified with that. And he loves the color orange and he likes dogs. And I can write that all into here and continue that way. So there's no need to actually have them have a site already or even have anything online. You can add in your own content.
Very cool. Very cool. Love it. A couple people asked about, is there a specific theme this is built on? I assume it is. There's a specific WordPress theme in the back end, and like anything with WordPress, they could make those changes down the road, but changing the theme, if you've never done that, can, of course, break some of the visuals. But that's no different than anything else in WordPress. Is that correct, Bennett?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's technically it's themeless. Like there is no theme on here. It's just breakdance. So
Okay.
they work a little bit differently, but you'd probably just want to, come on here and then make changes directly on the site like this.
Well, and again, one of the things I want to say that the reason I love this is so many of the AI sites that are out there, Bennett, as you know, they create something proprietary that you can't do anything with, and that makes life much more difficult. Even Manus, I love Manus, and Manus does a great job, but Manus creates proprietary stuff. You can't just go host that anywhere else easily and move things around. What Bennett's tool does that I like so well is it creates everything in WordPress. And if you're not familiar, WordPress is the world's largest content management system. It has more support worldwide than anybody else by probably a factor of 3 or 4. I mean, they're just runaway as far as market share. And you do have to host the website. You've got to pay somebody to host it somewhere. That's the way a website works. But the neat thing is because it's WordPress, if you decide, let's say you didn't want to host it, you wanted to save your website, you can literally just download it to your local hard drive. And then in the future, if you want, upload it back to a hosting provider. But the internet works, you have to have it hosted somewhere. So if you don't have a server online, then you would need to pay somebody, which is, trust me, far easier than setting up a server to do yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I'm seeing some
People asking
questions in
about
the
what
chat
about
as
brand
well.
colors and stuff? How does that
Mhm.
work? Pulling that through, Bennett.
Yeah. So brand colors, I'll go back through the beginning of this process. So we can create a site, we can choose our template, and there's a few different options. I'll choose one. I'll just kind of continue on with our previous inputs, skip all this stuff. And I'll also skip past the suggestions for service and service area pages. So we get to the branding and styles page. This is where you can upload a logo. You can also upload like the brand color. So you can use whatever color that they use for their logo, for their branding. And we can also change the header and body fonts and also the mode. If you want to go dark mode, you can do dark mode. Um, Most people just do light mode because it's like, it's a little bit easier on the eyes, or professional. So that's the whole process for branding and style. If you change these things, it will automatically use your color inputs and your fonts and design the whole site for you.
Very cool. What other questions have we got? Bennett, do we have time to, I know we've only got about 10 minutes. Do we have time to take a couple questions? Or actually, before we do that, why don't you share your offer so we make sure we've got time for your offer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you miss it, guys, I will add all the offer stuff into the replay and resources document. But go ahead, Bennett.
So I have this form here that I can put in the chat. that in a second. This is going to be an exclusive offer for you guys to get 2 free credits, 2 free sites. So when I say credits, they just means full entire websites for free. Most people only get one. So if you're going to the site without this offer, you only get 1 free site. And I also have a playbook on exactly how to go out and sell these sites, exactly how I used to sell these when I was running my agency before. And if I had this tool now, what I would do instead to go and make $2,000 in recurring revenue, even as high as $10,000, which is the highest that I got it to. And I have this whole client acquisition doc. So it's 17 pages of my exact strategy. I got a few different strategies in here. But I know people who are in our community who've done a few of these approaches, and it's incredible because you have such a big advantage on everybody else. You're able to go out and sell something that's already built, and people aren't doing that. And if they are, their version is just like a small 1-page website that's not getting much interest. So if you go through this form, you'll get an extra free credit, and you'll get that whole playbook. And Jonathan, what's the best way to do this? Just put this here
If you
in
want to put the
the
link,
chat.
yeah, put the link in the chat, and then I'll copy it over
Okay.
to the document. You guys can click it right now if you want. Bennett, people are asking once they get going, is the hosting? I know you said if they host with you, it's $10 per month per website, which is incredibly fair. They could certainly host it elsewhere if they wanted. What's the cost? Let's say I want to build out 20 of these a month. What am I looking at as far as additional sites above and beyond? What type of cost is that?
Yeah, good question. So we have 3 different plans right now. So $49 gets you 3 sites per month. 97 is 10, and then 297 is 40. So if you really go crazy on this, you want to build 40 sites a month, you can go ahead and do that. I also have one more thing I want to share because
Sure.
there's a thing called lead gen that kind of came out pretty recently that nobody is using that much of yet. This is the ability to upload a CSV and in return get back up to 500 mini websites at once. So if I have a lead list of, let's say, plumbers, I could upload this list, and it's right here actually already on the site. So what you do is you'd create a website. You'd use the Home Services 1 template, and it has this lead gen badge on it. Continue, yada, yada, yada. So we just built the site. Obviously, we already have it built. Lead gen plugin, you'll get an API key. And I can do this process really quickly here and just show you how this works. I think it's worth sharing for our last 5
Please
or so
do.
minutes here. So I'll manage the API keys. I'm going to make a new one real quick. All right, cool. So we have some credits here. And I'm going to download a sample. I actually probably already have a sample. Let me see if I have something here. Yes. Okay, cool. So I have a CSV of about 50 roofers in Austin that I prepared for this demo. I can show you the full CSV, but it's probably just what you'd expect. Business name, industry, phone number, address, a few things like that. Basic CSV of just some businesses that I want to build some websites for. So I can process that CSV, and this will run the batch. It takes about another 5-10 minutes. And these are actually mini websites that are hosted on this site. So what you can do is come back and see that the batch is now probably processing. So we'll come back to one that's already complete. Let's see. Go to batches. Okay, yeah, processing. I might have one that's already been done. Some example here. Let's see. No, I don't think I do. So that might take a little bit of time. I might have an example, actually. Hold on. Let me go and find this real quick. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I got to make sure that I share this correctly so you can see this CSV. Maybe I can open this in Google Sheets. Let's see here. So I ran this last night for a different site that I was doing. Let me do an import. And I think this was the one, yeah. So after we get that, so we just did a CSV sample just then. That probably takes about 5-10 minutes to run. And what that does is it'll create a mini website for every business that I put through that CSV. So for these ones, I had like some roofers in Texas, in Austin, where I used to live. And each one of these is using the same like base URL, and the slug is like the company name. So for each one of these guys, we get a mini website just for them. They all share the same images across the board for this whole CSV, so it's a bit faster than building 10 images with AI, which is expensive for each one. So they share those images, and they have like some sample service pages. So roofing in Austin, Texas, with some placeholder content. This could be the most efficient way I've seen to like plug in 500 businesses on a CSV, a bunch of plumbers or roofers or landscapers, whatever niche, and then you get back this CSV, and now you have all of the elements you need for, let's say, a cold email campaign. If you want to cold call them and send them the link, or do some kind of texting campaign, although be careful with A2P. You can do a lot of stuff with this now, and it's probably the best way to conserve your credits. So going back to the pricing, the best approach is going to be to probably get that middle plan, get 10 sites per month, but save those for after clients have already committed and said, I want to pay for this site, because you can use these lead gen credits and you can generate 500 mini sites per month. So it's much more conserving of your credits that way. So that's the feature. I mean, I have a documentation video on the website as well. So I went too fast. It's on the docs page right here.
Very, very cool stuff. Love this. This is fantastic. Quick question, Bennett. Excuse me. Need a drink of water. Can you edit the mini sites?
You can edit them. They do apply edits wise to basically all the sites, like a template basically. I can change out the content pretty easily. So I can go into one of those mini sites and swap out some content. Although I think that the one that I was on, I don't have in front of me, but the same kind of process as going, yeah, you can edit the content. And sites do not roll over each month, by the way, Scott. I saw that question. It's just you have 10 sites that you can build every month.
I want to clarify though, on that plan, that's how many sites you're building every month. So you can build 10 new sites every month on that plan. Mm-hmm. And then you can upgrade. You're going to pay the hosting to keep the sites. And I know somebody asked about, how do you handle the hosting? Guys, if you're doing this for clients, make money on it. I personally am paying $25 a month for both my sites. I pay $50 a month to host my 2 WordPress websites. Bennett, I may have to move over to you. But you can easily charge $25 to $30 a month for hosting. Bennett charges $10. So you're going to make $15 to $20 a month every month just on hosting revenue alone.
Yeah, I would probably even recommend like don't even host with us. Go and get a hosting provider like Hostinger for even cheaper and make even more money on it. Because I used to have a cPanel hosted server, right? And I think I paid $300 for the year, but I hosted like 30 or 40 sites on there. So it was very profitable to just hold those sites there. Let's see. How do you convert mini sites to full sites? You can't really convert them right away. What I would do is just start the process over from scratch and create a new site using the same process as before. So, after they like it, just build a full one out using the existing process. And looking for more questions. Templates, we only have 3 so far. Adding more as fast as we can.
Can you convert the mini sites to full sites?
Yeah, so you can't convert them like directly, but you can just kind of go in and create a new site using the same process. So you would just do it over a new website per company. And then for training, yeah, we do have some documentation. If you go to the website, then you'll see a docs page, and this has all the documentation that we have. So I've got docs for this. I've got a long video going through the entire process like we covered here as well. And we also have a support button just in case you get stuck.
Very cool. Love it. Any other questions? We've got about 3 more minutes before we wrap up. Again, we'll go ahead and put that in. A couple people are asking about the AI agent behind it. Is that something you can tell us what's going on behind the scenes as far as the AI agent to help build it?
Yeah, so the agent behind it, it's able to add pages like service pages and service area pages, as well as blog posts. Right now, it's still a little bit limited. It can't actually edit things. It can't change images out or anything like that. So we're working on the functionality. It's mostly like client says, "Hey, I want to add a service page for this service or for this area." It's mostly useful for those things.
Perfect.
And
Excellent.
then one question is pretty
Go
good. If
ahead.
you move it to a different host, you can still use the agent. There's a way to change the domain it's connecting to in the actual app. So you can still use the agent after you transfer it out.
Excellent. Well, guys, I want to encourage you as we come up to a wrap up. If you are either building sites for clients or thinking about building sites for clients, you're looking for another way to do it. I think what Bennett's got here is one of the best ways to get done. Even if you go in and make edits, you keep in mind, as Bennett shared and I shared, we were charging thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to build out websites, and this gets much of the heavy lifting done for you right out of the bat. So again, it's something you do. If it's something you do, definitely give it a thought. Even if you just need to rebuild your site, the ability to go in and pay Bennett for, actually, he's giving you 2 free sites. You can build one of them there and then decide what you want to host. It's an incredible value. Bennett, I want to thank you for giving everybody 2 sites that they can build on that promo link. That's absolutely amazing. Love it. And yeah, thank you for being so generous and putting that out there. That's amazing. Guys, before we run, because we do have just 1 minute, can we give Bennett a little love in the comments? If you thought this was valuable, can you just type Bennett in the chat so he can see that we appreciate it? We work hard to try to bring value to you guys through these free sessions. And then, as you know, when there's a free session, we'll make you an offer, but you never have to take advantage of it if you don't want to. But hopefully this got you to think. Bennett, I see lots of hearts, lots of thumbs up.
Lots of
Thank you
hearts.
so much.
Awesome.
Everybody's loving what we did. That's good. So yeah. By the way, guys, what do you usually charge for websites like this? It can be all over the map. You can find people charging $97 a month to literally 20 or $30,000, depending on what you want to do. When we sold WordPress websites, the ones that were more elaborate than these, but I mean, we sold them literally for 6 figures sometimes. So it just depends on what type of functionality. I would say a site like this, Bennett, I'd love your thoughts as we close. A site like this that you build out, I'd probably charge $97 a month for.
Yeah, I think that's great. You want to have some kind of component to get monthly recurring revenue for sure. It'll help you scale up a lot. I think my favorite offer is to do some kind of hybrid. So, for example, $50 a month, and then also $500 to $1,000 upfront. So that's a nice hybrid offer. You get some cash in your pocket, and you also got some money coming in, down the road. So, yeah.
Good mix all the way around. All right. Thanks, everybody. The replay will be posted shortly. Have an amazing day, and we'll see all of you guys soon. Thanks very much. Thanks, Bennett. Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.